What's good, everyone? My name is OJ and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. At Nintendo's recent Nintendo Direct, they showed off a short but I would say gameplay packed trailer for the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or just The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, whatever you want to call it at this point. Now, before we get into anything, please make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe if you enjoy Zelda, Nintendo, RPG, action games. I've got it right here, in addition to live streams pretty much daily on the channel. So thank you guys so much for the support, and let's get into this. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I am the biggest investigative analyzer when it comes to these type of things, but at the same time, I've noticed a couple different, or more than a couple, I've noticed a number of things in the most recent trailer that I wanted to go over and just give my thoughts on it. Now, the one thing that I noticed just right at the beginning, I'm going to be going over some of the just obvious stuff, but also some of my own thoughts on top of that, is that at the very beginning of the trailer, they're investigating what's going on with the castle. This takes place at the end of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you've beat that game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're underneath Hyrule Castle. Something's obviously affecting the rest of Hyrule, and they're going there to investigate what is going on. But it does seem like Princess Zelda and Link run into some trouble. The malice, Ganon's malice, or maybe even something else, is essentially getting them in a trap, and the trap is so severe that not only does it corrupt all of Link's arm, they set a trap for Princess Zelda, falls down that big embankment there, and once again Link has to come to her rescue. But I think that there's a little bit more to that than meets the eye. I still feel Princess Zelda could fall down in there and have her own segments that are playable there outside of what Link does, but we have to wait and see if that actually comes true. Now, with this game, the sky plays a massive role, going against what many people thought would be more of a grounded or underground theme for Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Although we really shouldn't be too surprised about this, because The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has multiple elements that were inspired from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which is coming out in July for the Nintendo Switch. So this also ensures, with this sky element that they just showed right from the beginning, that the atmosphere won't be too familiar across Hyrule, and it also gives you more areas to explore with the levitating platforms and also just the huge areas that are just built into the sky there. Now, based on Link's clothing and the hair changing, there's been a lot of theories about time travel. There's been a lot of theories about what's going on there, and based on the hair and based on the clothing as well, it definitely seems like there is some sort of time that plays a part into it. Now, how far in the future or how far back, or if it's a parallel world or something like that, is not known at this point, but there's definitely a passing of time that's going by just based off of those little bits right there. Now, let's go back to the structures in the sky and the multiple sky areas. Now, this could also lead into something that people wanted a lot in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was better dungeons. There could be completely huge structure-based dungeons, or the new type of shrines that are built in the sky that are more elaborate, or maybe they're harder to find, or they're more challenging for you to do, which we'll get back to that when it comes to the challenging and the puzzle aspect of it. Now, going into some more things about Link himself, as you can see in this shot of him running, his ribs are exposed, and you can clearly see like that marking and malice is on there. So it's not only taking over his arm, but also parts of his body with that strange pattern and everything. So I'm guessing that this plays a major role into the story, what happens. Maybe there's a certain amount of, I would say, time that Link has before something can happen, or how his powers evolve, his abilities, what Link has access to. I think this is a huge thing that plays into it. Now, we see a new enemy as well that's shown off, and it looks like it has the Sheikah eye constructed on it a little bit there on parts of it. So we'll have to wait and see if that is some type of construct from the Sheikah era, which I think it potentially is, but of course, chat, you guys can let me know if you see something a bit different on there. Now, here's the thing that I think many people have pointed out, but I noticed immediately when I first saw the trailer at Nintendo's presentation, is that Nintendo is being extremely careful not to show Link's face after the malice attacked him. they showed his face just for a snippet beforehand of him having the malice kind of go through his arm, but there's probably some type of scar or marking or something on his face as well that's affecting him, and could even this kind of goes into the more of the crazier theories out there or analyzing, this could mean that his eye has some type of power or ability as well, in addition to the Sheikah slate being imbued in his arm, which we'll talk about in just a bit as well. You see that in the trailer. So I think that's definitely another thing to maybe look out for when it comes to what the hook and gimmicks are for this game. Now, the bokoblins in this game have also been upgraded, and their bases as well. Some of them have horns on their head, and they have fortified outpost structures for better defense on top of a Colossus as well. So it's not always going to be super easy getting by these outposts with these bokoblins this time around, because they've got upgrades, they've got defenses, and they've got some of the enemies working on their side with them. So I do like that they added in some extra difficulty for just going about Hyrule there. Now, if you look at like the Sheikah slate powers, I talked about this before and what Link does, this time you're not using them. So somehow they've been imbued in his right arm, affected by the malice, which is, I guess, maybe stopped whatever was going to take him over, or helped gain more powers, or something happened in there. But it does seem like not only did it help him out there, but it's also powered up the powers that he had before, and it will probably give him new and enhanced ones as well. So that is definitely a great gimmick and hook to put into the game, and not actually having the slate, but having it be part of your arm. I think that's just a lot cooler than having the slate itself. So I'm a huge fan of what they did there. I love the sci-fi type of element that they're adding into it as well. So this part is probably the most interesting, or one of the more interesting parts about this trailer. So you see this fire-breathing weapon that Link has. This could be the first glimpse of a weapon customization system, because it looks like Link is holding a regular shield that had that thing attached to it, because it's wrapped around his arm right there, or he's kind of like wrapping it, grabbing it like you would a shield, and it looks like he attached something on there too. So people have talked about weapon durability and if that's coming back or not, but it might be. But if it does, I think that not only will there be a customization system, but there'll be a fortification system as well, to where you can actually have like a blacksmith and you can repair or fix or fortify your weapons going into battles. So I think this maybe kind of gives us the first glimpse into that. Now, I do want to talk just briefly about this part when it comes to Nintendo. I think they've definitely been watching their anime when it comes to this water transportation jutsu that Link just did right here. It's very similar to Suigetsu. He is a character from the Naruto Shippuden series. Naruto, he basically can go into water and kind of just move very quickly through that. But this one, he kind of like teleports. With Link, he teleports from the bottom of water, then goes all the way to the top of the structure. Once again, creating a host. My mind literally raced with different gameplay possibilities, puzzles, aspects that you can do with that type of power. Heck, may even be kind of Lemillion-ish from My Hero as well if you watch that anime. So I love the fact that they've taken kind of all the things that you thought, you know, like, okay, well, this game is just so good, everything's fine with it, and they said, no, we have this that you can do, and we have this that you can do. Oh, by the way, there's a whole sky area along with the ground stuff that you're used to, the familiar Hyrule. So I think that that is an interesting dynamic, but it's not just stagnant. It's not just you flying through the sky. There's other elements as well, just from this small trailer, and that's probably just a little snippet of what is going to be possible with the gameplay in this game. Now, the ending shows with this levitation of the Hyrule Castle that there is probably an even greater malice and evil power that is affecting everything that was maybe even way worse than what we saw in the original game. There could be the return of something that's even greater when it comes to the evil with Hyrule. So I am very excited to kind of see what is going on here. And if you look at it, there's more little details sprinkled out. I watched this trailer so many times and I analyzed so many different things about it, and there's still even more that I bet some of you guys can tell me in the comment section. So here's what I'd love for you guys to do. I am a huge fan of discussion when it comes to the big Nintendo games. So let me know what you guys saw in this trailer, anything that I missed, anything that you want me to cover again in another theory or analysis video when it comes to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, I'd be more than happy to do so. And of course, if you're a big Zelda fan, let me know what you guys think about the first game and what they're going to improve, what they're going to add, what your wants are, what you want to see with like the Master Sword, if that's even a thing with this one here, or if they have other things in there. What do you want to see with this game? I'd love to kind of gather up your opinions, your thoughts, what you guys feel, and of course make another video if you guys want me to talk about it. So what do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all the latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.